Hello, everyone, and welcome to A Blooming Good Time. I'm Riley.
And I'm Emma.
And I'm Beth.
And we haven't recorded in so long. We did like a bunch of like pre-recordings, and then of course I apologize. We've had a couple weeks where there have been no podcasts because, oh my gosh, has it been crazy busy here on the farm?
Yes.
I feel like it's literally been nonstop.
I don't even know how to think anymore. I'm just trying to like survive.
Literally that. Like last weekend I had a wedding plus the wedding showcase plus like a million random orders that popped out of nowhere. Same thing with yesterday. I was like, I got all my orders done, and then I was like, Beth's like, oh no, I forgot we have to do this one too. And I was like, oh no. And literally my whole day just ran away from
I
me.
didn't forget. It was like people were asking for orders as they just came in.
No. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just, it happens sometimes. Like, it was an order, like, oh no, we need to get this done for tomorrow. Like, I almost forgot. Like, I totally would have forgot about it. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Oh man.
I wrote this huge board out for everyone so that everybody knew, and checked everything off as we went. Because not only, like, it's hard when you have orders and big orders and then weddings and then something like a wedding showcase, and then have all your daily weeklies, and then on top of that be planting and tilling and doing all the other things. I mean, it's just kind of that time of season where it's a little
That's
bit
the
brutal.
hard thing, is struggling to balance being florists and having a shop and then also growing all of our own flowers. But this year I feel like we've been doing really good. We've kind of come into like our place and figuring out what works best. And I feel like, Riley, you've been dominating.
Thank you.
Getting all the orders out, super organized.
You've also been dominating. The whole
Thank
greenhouse
you.
is full. Like, today I had to replant my tomatoes, like repot them up. And I had no space to put them after.
I'm like, the second something's ready to go out, I'm like, get out of here. Oh, that's the struggle. I think everything is just kind of juggling where to put things. They move to the next step. They're big enough to move outside. And then, I don't know.
I know. And you guys.
Well, so I was talking to Jay about it, Jay being my husband, and I said...
Father Jay.
Father Jay.
Father Jay. Jay is Cinderella.
What?
Is this? You know this.
No,
don't act
sing
like
it
you
again.
don't. Jason Derulo.
We always call Riley's dad Jason Derulo.
Just because his name is Jason. And Jason Derulo.
It's a singer, if you guys don't know. And in the beginning of all of his songs, he says his name. I think a lot of people do
Why?
that.
Yeah.
Who else does
It's
that?
like
That's
a
good
call. It's a
example.
normal like
DJ
DJ
Khaled.
Khaled.
Like,
Yeah.
And so he didn't know this, and all of us have just been randomly saying, Jason Derulo, and he's like been wondering all the time, why do they keep saying that?
He
So we finally
literally-
showed him.
He asked me, and he was like, it's fine, but
Don't worry, that's just a helicopter.
Don't
coming
worry,
down.
guys.
Flying really
just
low.
flying really
Let's
low.
just-
We get buzzed a lot here.
Anyways, go on.
We were together, and he's like, it's fine, but like, I don't really understand, because every time Sylvia sees me, which like, it's totally fine she does this, but she always is like, Jason Derulo, and I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is? And I was like, yes, I do. I thought it was
Let me
the funniest
explain.
thing. He thinks it's hilarious, so
Yeah.
we can.
His other name is Father Jay. But anyways, Beth, go on. What was Father Jay saying?
So Father Jay was saying that, so I've been asking him, I feel kind of bad because I go, well, I want a propagation house. Like, part of our greenhouse is a pretty large space for putting our propagated plants, right? Mm. And it's worked for years. And so then he builds this cute little, what we call now the cottage greenhouse, the cute one.
Yeah.
And he goes, I thought that was going to be your propagating house. And I'm like, honey, it's really small. That's the succulent house. It's where we put all the pretty stuff that we don't want to cut, that needs to stay warm in the winter, all the tropical plants and things. And I said,
like choking. Go on.
And so I said, I need like an actual big propagating house. And he's like, oh. He thinks about it for a minute. He's like, okay, I think we can do that. And I'm like, are you feeling okay? And I'm like, And then I'd kind of slowly start like, well, it would need to be built like this, and it would need to have this, and electrical, and all the things. And he's like, okay. I'm like, can we do it this year? We'll see if it happens, but he got excited about it. He does like building sometimes, so he's really good at it. And we have most all the things to do it with.
Yeah,
so
we do.
Anyways, we'll see. We'll get Emma's house. Emma's hut is what we'll call it.
Indeed, it's going to be my main sanctuary, my office, if you would.
I like how Emma gets a hut, and then there's this random storage like closet thing here on the farm that I, for like a couple months, put my antiques in, and they now call it Riley's closet or Riley's shed, and I have nothing in there. But it's
called Riley's
shed. But I feel slightly insulted that it's called that because it's just a mess. Like it's literally a mess. And every time they're like Riley's shed, and I was like, don't call it that. It's rude.
That's like, oh my god, what are you saying?
Yeah, literally. I'm like, I feel so insulted that this is my shed and I have nothing to do with it. So okay, switching gears. Beth has decided that she wants to keep these episodes to 30 minutes just because it has been so crazy, and I think that that's going to be the theme of this year, is that it's going to be crazy. So to make us feel better, but also to serve you guys as listeners, we're just going to cut back the time a bit.
We're going to
try because
but
we're so bad.
I know.
We're so bad. We're so good at talking.
Okay.
It's bad. Anyway, so Beth is going to hop into the topic because she's running this episode, hopefully.
Yeah, I am. But, okay, really fast. I do want to just point out a little housekeeping because we are going to have these episodes up on YouTube, so you can check them out there. So you can
want to see us look questionable.
Okay, so what we've decided is to kind of break up the farm into pieces, into like Emma has her chores, Riley has her chores, and I have mine. And it's actually worked really, really well. We all kind of work by ourselves, which is odd.
I know. I'll go through a whole day and I'm like, Riley, I haven't seen you.
And
So,
like,
I mean, I'm not sure if that's going to wear on us eventually, but there are times where, like, this...
I'm doing great. This is feeding my inner, like, what's it called? Introvert?
Yeah, I love it.
So, okay. So, on to our topic. Today, we're going to be talking about peonies. And on our YouTube channel, we have 2 peony videos. One is R-rated, and the other one is blissful.
It is not R-rated. And again, this is another thing that I get blamed for, even though I had nothing to do with it.
It's just funny.
There's a video.
You guys will have to go check it out.
Where we're cutting peonies, and I'm talking about the peonies, and there's like a section that it was too quiet for them to hear, and so Dad did like subtitles in it.
This was when we were new at editing.
Yes. Also, Dad is dyslexic like me. So instead of writing the word like peony, he wrote
said a male
penis.
Right.
I don't-
You can't say that on...
Did he actually write it?
Yeah.
No.
Or do you, it's an
No,
app
no, no,
that
no,
just
no, no.
hears you and automatically puts it on, I think. And he
Anyways.
didn't realize.
Anyways, he didn't realize what it said.
The subtitles are a
he
little
can bleep
dirty.
it out in there. Yeah, it's a little dirty.
But
But
not
it's
on
funny.
purpose. It's super
No.
funny, and it's hilarious because I get like people's comments about the peonies on all the time. People are like, "Oh my god, that just made my day. It just made me laugh." Well, he caught all of them except for like 2, I think, because she's talking so fast and it's hard to see. I mean, it just comes blurping up, and so the subtitles just have it in there. And yeah. So, anyways, to
left
edit
it.
it out, it's really hard. So back on to peonies, Riley.
They need
Sorry.
to see.
Look at him.
Okay, Riley is holding a cat.
Oh,
and
Shyla
then
is
the other
desperate
baby.
for attention.
my goodness.
They've been sleeping all day.
Yeah, they
Like
have.
just when. Oh. What? It's like 2:00 right now.
It's almost 4.
Okay, continue. I'm just
Okay. So, anyways, on to peonies. So we have 2 videos up. You can watch them there, and a lot of people really enjoy them.
They have the most views.
Which is like, oh dear
That just
Lord,
tells you a little bit how much people
embarrassing.
like peonies.
Yeah. And so we thought we'd talk just a little bit about what we're doing here on the farm this spring. We're coming into peony season. We harvest a lot of peonies, and especially this year we have a lot of peonies, and I'm kind of
Overwhelmed.
a little bit.
Some purring. That's what Killian has to say about the
Killian's just
subject.
like,
Wait, I need to take a picture real quick.
I'm hiding my
okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Okay.
So peonies, there's this love for peonies, and I've often thought about like what it is about the peony flower that people are just so like drawn to.
It's drop dead gorgeous.
It is
gorgeous.
indeed. And so like one of the first ones to bloom for us on the farm is Coral Charm, and that one for some reason is just absolutely stunning. It's huge. The plant itself is like right now on the field is over 3 feet tall. I mean, they're almost as tall as us when we go to cut them actually. We're running late this year. Everything is. Normally, we were cutting peonies last year, probably a week ago.
Really?
A week before Mother's Day. Yeah.
Wow.
It's been warmer this year, though. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they like
rain.
more rain.
I don't know. So, anyways, we have about, I would say, 400 peonies here on the farm, give or take a few. And then we also broker some peonies for a big peony grower, which I think there's 40,000 plants or more. It's big.
I'm nervous about that one.
Yeah.
How are we gonna?
They have folks that cut it for
Oh,
the most
sweet.
part. We go and cut if we need a special order, but a lot of times they'll go and have their cutters out there and doing their thing. This year there was a lot of help available because California doesn't have any work, and so they're all coming up.
Yeah.
Riley,
This is having a great time, guys.
I know you are. So we're gonna have loads of peonies. So my thought is like, okay, how do we sell all these peonies?
Yeah,
Because that's
that's
one
like-
thing, you
I
can
wanna know
grow
that.
all these flowers, and how are you gonna sell them? So we have a couple grocery outlets, and then we also have a outlet with a big wholesaler that I can move most of them through. And then we have our two wholesalers that we are members of that we can sell through our own like little booth. And then we have the farm stand. I'm also this year I'm thinking to do the shipping. So what do you guys think about that?
Oh, snap! I think yes.
I think
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
We all agree. Let's
yeah. So
order
I'm thinking-
peonies from us.
Yeah, so we'll have that on our Shopify link, and you can just order there, and it will calculate the shipping, and then we'll get them shipped out. So we'll be able to, we're going to go through each varieties as they come in, because there is like an early variety, a mid variety, and a late variety.
Yeah.
Riley, which is your favorite variety?
I like Coral Charm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's. And what's the one? The pinky, fluffy one?
Sarah Bernhardt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah Bernhardt is one of my favorites.
I think Sarah Bernhardt smells the best.
Sarah Bernhardt, I feel like, is the most versatile.
And the most well known and loved. I think people really love it because it's that huge double peony that's just like, it could fit in a bowl. Like you could have one stem and sitting in a bowl and it would be absolutely gorgeous. But I do love peonies as just a huge mass. Like you could get 5
They look
stems
so
or 10
good.
stems.
It's just a straight bunch.
Yeah, totally.
We should talk about the different kinds of peonies, like double, single,
Yeah. Go
the
ahead.
fluffy. Oh, okay, fine. I will take it away.
Take it over.
Take
Take
it
it away.
away.
Take it away.
So there's a few different kinds. There are single petal ones where it's just one petal going around. And then double is like this huge fluffy mass. It doesn't mean just 2 petals. It means more than 1 petal. There's also peonies that have a mix. It has this big poof ball on it, but then single petals at the base.
What is that called? I know I
All we say is double single.
a double single. I think that's what it's called.
It might be, it might not.
that's
Guys,
the
we
Growing a beard.
Cat mustache.
So sorry.
Our cats always decide that
When we're filming?
it's time
To cuddle during podcasts.
And filming.
Which
anything.
I'm not opposed to this.
So anyways, we grow several different varieties, all the fun ones. I think there's the early, the mids, and the lates. And I'm still learning as I go. The one thing for care of peonies, there's not too much, actually. They grow pretty much anywhere.
That's the nice thing about peonies is that they
Trying to
are very
remember the
low
zones?
maintenance.
Yeah. Also, they're native to America, so
Hey.
Really? From what
yeah.
area?
This area.
The Willamette Valley.
You just don't see them in the woodlands?
I mean, they're like native in like Alaska and like.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure.
I thought
They
they
do
came
have
from
those
like China.
huge.
No, there are a variety that comes from China too, but it's from China and America that they are like wild, natively grown.
Look at that. They do so well in Alaska. So they
Yeah,
must
They
like the
do.
cold.
They like cold. Okay, so that's the thing about planting. You can plant peonies early in the spring. Like right now, you could still plant some, especially if they're potted up. Like if you go to the nursery and they're potted up, go ahead, put it in the ground. But if it's a bare root, be a little cautious.
Yeah.
They don't like that. They don't like to be moved too well. I mean, you can for sure.
Yeah.
You can divide them. It's brutal. It's so hard to do. So really think about where you're going to put your peony if you do go get one.
Yeah.
Because we inspired you to go get another one. And, we can do that.
Yes.
Send
go
you
get
to the
more.
garden center.
More.
Yes, you can't have enough. Riley's covered in cat hair.
I got a de-beard.
It's spring, baby. He's like, I'm shedding.
So anyways, so peonies in the fall, a lot of times we've planted ours bare root. And then the first batch that I got.
Sounds dirty. I'm sorry.
It is.
It is. It is.
Peonies are just like that. Okay, so anyways.
If you read any romance novels, you know what I'm talking about. Wording is key.
Do not subtitle your video.
No.
Yeah, don't.
Okay. Anyways.
So you want to plant in fall?
Then not bare root.
If bare
Not bare-
bare root in fall. No, Riley.
Okay, just
Bare-
bare root is fall. Get that bare root fallen
In the ground.
in the ground.
Yeah,
Dirty.
okay, but you only want, oh my gosh, you only want to plant it about 1 to 2 inches. Now, if you're in the south, you want to do about an inch below the soil. And if you're in our zone, which is 8B, which doesn't make any, some people just like to know that. It doesn't really make a difference, but we're kind of wet, we're cold. Well, no, we're more mild, but we do get some chilled temperatures in the winter. So you want to bury them about 2 inches below the soil. Now, if you have sandy soil, you got to be a little careful because if you plant it and it hasn't kind of rooted yet or anything, sometimes the soil can kind of wash off, and then that is exposing the root. And if you do get a pretty hard freeze, it could make it
Shayla,
not like it
excuse
very
you.
well. So it could die. And then if it's too wet, like sitting in water, they can also, again, they can get soggy and die.
Yeah.
So those are a couple things. The other thing is they can get like botrytis and powdery mildew. They can get some leaf spots and things like that.
But
so
I feel like they're pretty resilient.
here in Oregon, we just don't struggle with that much. I think some states and some climates do, and so that's where you have to use like a fungicide.
Clawing my leg. Kitten, stop.
You have to use like a fungicide. The cats are going to be knocked out. I'm sorry, kicked out. The cats are going to be kicked out. Okay, so sometimes you have to use like a fungicide or something like that. That's what we spray, but we never have to spray like a pesticide or anything like that. I don't know about other people, but generally it's just usually a fungicide a couple times early in the spring as the foliage is coming up. And we can do an organic, copper fungicide or something. And then a lot of times for the soil itself, I'll do a little bit of like the rose tone.
Yeah.
And I will mix it in with some of the compost, and I just put a little bit of that down, and that's it. It's super easy. And you're rewarded
they love
quite a
full
bit.
sun too, right?
Yeah, full sun. Other than they can have a little bit of afternoon shade. and they can tolerate that. Sometimes if your blooms aren't, like you're not getting any blooms, you just get tons of foliage. Check your, like, how much sun is it getting? Did I bury it too deep? All the things.
So the other day, Riley and I went to a wedding showcase, and we were talking to the vendor next to us, and we were talking about peonies, and she's like, yeah, I love peonies, but I always have such an ant problem with it. And both me and Riley are like, don't kill the ants. We're both like, we have a video you should watch.
Yes.
But yeah, so you definitely want to let the ants come. It's a good sign.
Yeah, they eat there's like a sticky, sugary sap
It's like a
on
nectar.
It's a nectar.
So the ants will eat the nectar that's on the peony, because it's like this
Head.
I mean, peonies are so funny because they're like this ball, right? They're
Yeah.
kind of ugly, and people are kind of like, okay. But it opens up to this absolutely stunning flower. But in order for it to open, or some people say that the ants have to come and eat the sugar off to allow the petal to open up. But
after that,
other
they
people
shouldn't
say
be
it doesn't
there.
really matter.
You
Yeah.
never see ants after they start opening.
No.
I don't mind ants. It's a symbiotic relationship, and let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but a lot of people think that they need to spray their peony for, ants or bugs, and I'm like, no. They're doing their job.
'Cause
Just let them be.
And the ants won't bother the petals or anything like that.
No.
So.
You know what's crazy to me is looking at a full-sized open peony and then the bud, and it's like, how did it go from that small bud to this giant flower?
Even like from it going from the
know.
super tight bud to like the slightly opening when they get all fat and like the
Marshmallow?
marshmallowy, like the size difference is huge.
Yeah, right. You should talk about the marshmallow stage.
Oh, so we talk about the marshmallow stage with a couple of our flowers, especially ranunculus and peonies, and that's pretty much just a textural preference, if you will. Coming from the texture girl here, I will gag on anything that is less than superb.
Yes.
So it's pretty much when you like pinch it
Yeah.
and it feels like squishy, like
Like
a
a
soft
marshmallow.
Yeah, like you could, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the marshmallow phase, and that's when you can cut it.
Yeah, because if it's hard, like a marble, they say for a peony, it feels like a marble.
A marble.
It's a marble. I guess something is wrong with my throat, you guys. If it feels like a marble, then you definitely want to leave it because it will. There's a good chance that it's not going to open.
Right.
We cut some early last year,
Yeah,
even though it
listen
was
up.
beautifully colored. So that's the other thing you're looking for is that coloring to kind of pop through.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's still really hard, just better leave it for just, and it can be literally from the morning until evening. I mean, it's almost like we're cutting twice a day for peonies.
Yeah.
So
And
just,
if it's a one and done kind of thing, you know?
well, okay. So peonies are like that. But the thing, though, what we can do is a lot of times we harvest them, we put them into water, we sell them off. But then we might want to, there's like 3 different stages of what we can do with peonies, right? They dry beautifully. You have to let them open. So if you accidentally miss a window, say it just the field blows and you're like, holy cow. So you're out there and you're cutting your peonies and if they've just opened and they're just the gorgeous first kind of opening, grab them, cut them, hang them upside down in your garage or in a cool, dark space where there's a little bit of airflow. We turn some fans on our ceiling here in the studio. In fact, Emma just got this, and Riley got this all cleared out because we're going to be hanging peonies soon. So peonies make for a great dried flower and a great focal flower for your dried bouquets. We do a lot of peonies in ours, and they look stunning. They do still have a beautiful smell.
They do.
Dried.
Anything dried. I think everyone that comes into the studio, that's the first thing that they say is, it smells so good in here.
Yeah.
We
Not
kinda
right
get used
now,
to it.
but
I know. Oh, we just got a lot of flowers into our cooler for the first time
Yeah.
since winter, and immediately it smelled so good.
Yeah, you walk in, you're just like, yes.
Here we go. Start of the season.
Oh, let's just remember this in fall. Okay. That's my prayer this year, I guess.
Got
So just
5
remember this
minutes.
moment. Okay, the second stage, or the third stage, I guess. So you have the first one is being sold off fresh to markets, mixed bouquets, grocery, wherever. Second one is to dry them if they're too open for the markets, because we sell them in that marshmallow stage in our mixed bouquets or as a bunch, because we want the customer, the end result, to be beautiful on their table for as long as possible.
Yes.
And then the third way that you can harvest and actually keep them for some time is to cut your peonies into bunches, and I kind of like to lay them loose onto newspaper, paper, what have you, and kind of roll them up, lay them on their sides, and I put them into bulb crates. Or if you were at home, you could stick them in a nice cool space in a dark, like say you have a closet or something, and you want to keep your peonies for maybe there's a birthday party coming up or a wedding or something like that. You can put them in a paper box and just kind of close the lid a little bit and just let it kind of sit there. And then what you'll do is recut those stems, add them to some water, and they will open up. Absolutely stunning.
Yes. We've had many times where we're putting we've cut a little bit too early. So we have a bunch of our peonies in the house or something where it's warm.
Yeah.
And we're like whispering sweet nothings to it. Shh, it's okay. You can open now.
Let it go. Let it go. But there are, to get peonies to open, you can definitely cut them and put them into hot water, and they will open. So a lot of times if we're rushing something for a wedding or anything like that, we will do that. And we also, if we're selling to a florist, the florist will let us know, hey, can you have those open by Friday? And so then we don't put them in the cooler. We just leave them out in the studio to open. Or if we stick them in the cooler, they're going to be nice and tight, and they might be tight for, a good while on the floor as we sell them off, and,
So here in Oregon, what is the season for peonies? May,
June, and then this year we might actually bump into July.
July a little bit? Mm-hmm. So if you guys live in the Oregon area, come to our little shop.
Yeah.
We are open
Friday and Saturday, 10 to 3. This year we're going to have some coffee for the morning time if you want to come have a little cup of coffee.
Just drip.
Visit. Just drip. Just drip coffee. Nothing special.
Better than nothing.
I'm just letting them know. Don't expect
an
espresso machine.
We got things to do.
Don't got time to serve you.
No. My vision is that they can come out to the gardens, bring some little tables, chairs, and that kind of thing. Instead of having wine, they're going to have a little glass of coffee or sip of coffee. What glass?
Little paper cup.
A paper cup of coffee. They're going to glass it up for everyone.
Grab some coffee, grab some peonies.
Yeah.
And the whole rest of the summer we'll be selling other flowers. So,
yeah. And I think there's going to be times where people can go cut in the gardens too. If they want to come, just do a little
Or you can come to one of our Clip and Sips.
Yeah, we're almost sold out of those. I feel like I need to do a few others, but we have so many private ones that want to book, and I'm just feeling a lot of wineries wanting to book with us.
That's exciting.
Haven't booked them yet. Need to answer those emails.
You're welcome, by the way.
Yeah,
yes. I worked my ass. Emma too. We worked our asses off to get the business going at that wedding showcase. Anyway, well, if you enjoyed this and you also would like, oh wait, one sec, let me redo that. Well, if you enjoy this and you have any friends who would also enjoy listening to 3 female flower farmers talk about peony season and all the fun things and how cool they are and the double petal, single petal vibes and why do ants eat the nectar of the peony, and so
send it
to them, Also, don't forget, we have our book out for Our Own Flower. I will have the link down below to order that because it's amazing. Beth wrote it and her sister Sarah, and it's an amazing book. And
Emma did the photos.
You need it in your life. If I suggest to you anything for this year, and Mother's Day is coming up, your mom needs it in her life too.
Order that.
Go buy that. And check us out.
I've got so many books upstairs.
Check us out on the social media things. Medial.
What is that?
We're making up words, guys. It's fine.
Check it out, okay? Anyway, hope you had a really good time with us.